Hello everyone, welcome to Arc Astro Science, and today in this video I will be discussing the transit of Jupiter into the sign of Capricorn in the retrograde motion. At present Jupiter is in the initial degrees of the sign of Aquarius as I am making this video. But on 14th of September, in the late hours of 14th of September 2021, Jupiter will retrograde back into the sign of Capricorn. You will find Jupiter in the sign of Capricorn. In Capricorn, Jupiter debilitates. It is the debilitating sign of Jupiter. Jupiter is our wisdom, Jupiter is our higher philosophical knowledge, our higher intelligence, our dharma, light, optimism. It is the Jiva Tattva, the life, okay. So, when it enters the sign of Capricorn, it forms the Neecha Avastha. It debilitates, means now the significance, the characteristics of the planet Jupiter are getting challenged. Whenever a planet debilitates, be it in the transit, be it in your natal chart, you will feel that planet feels very difficult to show its own significance. The planet feels that I don't know what to do here, how to act over here. But this time, during this transit, as the transit of Jupiter is going on, at first it went into Capricorn, then it went into Aquarius, again now it is coming back from Aquarius to Capricorn. Whenever the transit of Saturn and Jupiter, these two planets, Saturn and Jupiter, happens from one sign to another, or whenever they become retrograde or whenever they become direct, major changes will occur in the life of the mankind, you will see. And so now when it is coming back into the sign of its debility again, you will find again certain changes are occurring. But there are many more chapters to it, there are many more lookouts. It is not only the debilitation which is happening. Jupiter is retrograding back. So now it is under retrogression and debilitation both. It is under the Neecha Avastha, but again due to the retrogression it is getting the strength, it is getting the power. So now it has the quality, it has the capability to fight it out by using its wisdom. You will see that whenever a planet is under debility and at the same time it is also getting the retrogression or the retrograde motion, you will find that planet will give you good results with time. Means now that planet has that strength, means you will feel that initially you are not getting the results, but again and again when you do the same thing, you get the results at some point of time. That is what the retrograde planets are so strong, they are so powerful. And in transit, whenever a benefic planet, they become retrograde, they give very good results. Because now it is becoming much more powerful, it is becoming much more prominent now. And in the sign of Capricorn, at present, Saturn is also retrograding and it is its own sign. Saturn is the lord of Capricorn, which is also transiting in the sign of Capricorn now. So when Jupiter enters the sign of Capricorn, it will be under direct impact of Saturn. So although Jupiter will be facing the debilitation, but Saturn will be there to cancel that debilitation. So again there are many chapters to it. Let me talk about it. So before let me start, as usual, if you are new to this channel, tap onto the subscribe button, click onto the notification bell icon so that every time I make a new video you get notified instantly. And definitely in this video you will find the timestamps to different zodiac signs. You can check it from your ascendant sign, you can check it from your moon sign, but before jumping into those timestamps, I will say you that you should understand that how this transit is going to impact you overall. Until and unless we understand that how this retrogression, how this debilitation and how the cancellation of debilitation is working, So that will give you much more broader insights to use this transit in a positive way, in a beneficial way, through your zodiac sign, through your ascendant sign, through your moon sign. Okay, and anytime if you need any consultation from me, then check the links in the description section. So come, let us start. See, here Jupiter is getting debilitated and Saturn is having the responsibility. Being the lord of Capricorn, it will cancel the debilitation. But Saturn is the planet of delay. Saturn will not deny it, but Saturn will definitely take some time to give you the result. Saturn is also retrograde now, so now it is asking for more commitment, more patience, more hard work. And now since Jupiter is entering the sign of Capricorn, both planets Saturn and Jupiter will exchange the energies between themselves. Here Jupiter will bring the optimism, here Jupiter will bring the positivity, the light into the sign of Capricorn. And in return, Saturn will cancel out the debility of Jupiter. So now what's the way out? You will find that initially you will find that the significance related to the sign Sagittarius and Pisces, wheresoever it is in your horoscope, you will find the results related to those houses. Initially it will get stuck. Initially you will find that I am not getting the appropriate result related to those houses in our birth chart. You may feel like that. Or for the overall mankind, I am talking about that Jupiter is the significator of your second house, your fifth house, your ninth house, your 11th house. Now since initially it is going into the sign of debilitation, the second house, fifth house, ninth house and the 11th house, the significance related to those houses will also get struck. How the cancellation of debilitation occurs? Until and unless it goes into debility, until and unless it touches the Neecha Avastha, the Neecha Bhang will not occur, the cancellation will not occur. So now a time will come when you will feel completely stuck initially, and slowly the optimism and the wisdom and the hard work of Saturn together will help you out to get the solution to that problem. This transit will be a game changer in your life. Just like when Jupiter entered the sign of Aquarius, it came with a broader optimism because it was out of its debility. So it had the power to give lots and lots of positive results, and it gave also. So now when it is coming back into the sign of Capricorn in the retrograde motion, it will bring lots and lots of different kind of energies also. So anything which you misjudged or anything which you thought or you ignored in the past, wheresoever the sign Capricorn falls in your horoscope, related to that, Jupiter will give you another chance to know it, to understand it, to rectify it. And the most beautiful part here is that in order to make something permanent with complete perfection, we need to have that patience. We need to have that dedication and commitment that will be given by Saturn. And that's how when Saturn will be able to cancel out the debilitation of Jupiter. This transit is going to be around more than 2 months. So you will feel the impact of transit of Jupiter through the sign of Capricorn. It is not a transit of 10 days or 15 days. So you will definitely you are going to feel that transit, that how the exchange of energies between the Jupiter and Saturn is going on. Since Saturn is a cold and dark planet, Saturn signifies our hard work. Saturn also signifies sorrow, sadness, and whereas Jupiter is the positivity, Jupiter is the light. So you will feel initially the significance related to Sagittarius and Pisces, the signs which are ruled by Jupiter. It will give you some kind of depression or it will give you some kind of problems initially, whereas the signs related to Saturn, that is the Aquarius and Capricorn. Now, wheresoever the sign Capricorn and Aquarius lies in your horoscope, you will see that the results related to those houses will improve, because Saturn will get the optimistic powers and energies through the exchange, through the conjunction of Jupiter. So what happens with time, when Jupiter will get habituated with the sign of Capricorn, or you will feel that now, yes, now this is the time when I am getting the wisdom and I am doing the hard work. So you will also get habituated with the problem, and now you will be looking out for this solution. Initially you may find that the problem is very big. No, if there is a solution for every problem. Here this Jupiter and this Saturn is giving you some another chance to look out for the solution of that problem. For that you need to have the proper patience. You need to also get habituated, accustomed with that portion of your life, because suddenly if you become impulsive, suddenly if you become aggressive, then that will cause to some kind of tensions in your life. Not only that, this Jupiter and Saturn together will aspect the sign of Cancer. So you will see that Cancer is the natural fourth house. Cancer is the very emotional sign. It deals with our peace of mind, our homely environment where we live, the domestic peace. So what happens? The sign Cancer, wheresoever it is in your horoscope, suddenly you will find some kind of optimism, some kind of light, some kind of divine blessings are coming. Okay, you will find that. Another aspect to this transit is that Jupiter has the 5th and 9th aspect also, apart from the 7th aspect. So the 5th aspect of Jupiter will fall into the sign of Taurus, where Rahu is transiting at present, which is the original 2nd house of the zodiac. So it will improve your finance, it will improve your wealth, your family bonding. You will have now proper idea regarding your wealth, investment ideas. Jupiter by its 9th aspect will aspect the sign of Virgo. At present, Mars and Mercury is transiting in the sign of Virgo, but on 17th of September, Sun will join the party. 14th, late hours of 14th, Jupiter enters the sign of Capricorn. On 17th of September, Sun enters the sign of Virgo, and that time, Sun, Mars and Mercury will be under the 9th aspect of Jupiter. And 9th aspect of Jupiter is very powerful, very spiritual, very wise, very optimistic. See, when Mars and Mercury transits, or whenever Mars is transiting in the sign of Mercury, it can make Mars a bit irritated, because you see, Jupiter is a sign which deals with organizational abilities, with our perfection, and Mars is very aggressive, very impulsive planet. Mars don't like anyone to say that do this like this, do that like that, okay, make it perfect. Mars don't like to listen all these things, which can make the planet Mars a bit irritated. So now when the wisdom of Jupiter, the divine aspect of Jupiter will fall onto the sign of Virgo, Mars will get that aspect. So now the energy to act, to put the effort in an orderly manner through the intelligence of Mercury and the wisdom of Jupiter will act together. So that will make all the problems of your life you will see that the problems of your life will get sorted out. Because why? Virgo is the original 6th house of your natural zodiac. Be it your health, be it your opponents, be it your disease, or be it your daily schedule and routines, or any kind of work which you do which requires hard work, which requires some order, which requires perfection, you will find that the roads are opening slowly and slowly. So I will say you that initially this transit of Jupiter may create some problem, but with time this transit is going to be a very fruitful transit. With be it the retrogression which brings the strength in Jupiter, be it the cancellation of debilitation by Saturn, although it will take some time, but definitely it is going to give its good result. And or be it the aspect of Jupiter falling on the sign of Taurus, Cancer and Virgo. So I will say you that this transit has to be taken care very cautiously, and because why not? Because this transit is going to be very fruitful. First of all, it is going to give you some dual chances to rectify the mistakes, to gain some knowledge also, to gain some wisdom also, whatsoever the sign Capricorn falls in your horoscope. So I will say you that use this transit in a positive manner, and for that I will be sharing now that how this transit is going to happen for all the 12 zodiac signs. So you can check it from the ascendant sign and also from the moon sign, whichever makes you feel better. Moon sign, you can check it that how it is going to impact emotionally. You can check it from the ascendant sign first, because I will recommend it from the ascendant sign first, because how is it going to manifest physically for real time in your life. Check it from the ascendant sign first, and what impact it is falling or it is making on your mindset, what emotional changes it is creating in your life. For that, check it from the moon sign. You can also check it from the natal position of Jupiter also, but that will be a bit hectic, so that you can do it for yourself. So come, let us start for the 12 zodiac signs and how the transit of this Jupiter is going to take place, or how it is going to impact in your life. Starting with the Aries ascendant. Aries, Jupiter will be transiting in your 10th house, 10th house of your karma, 10th house of your profession. Jupiter is dharma. Although Jupiter is getting debilitated, but Jupiter is retrograde, and with time Jupiter will also get the cancellation of debilitation. So with the hard work of Saturn, with the wisdom of Jupiter, with the optimistic idea of Jupiter, you will find that from last few months, when Saturn was making you do the hard work day and night, suddenly you will find some blessing. Suddenly you will find that doors are opening, good things are coming. Suddenly you will find that whatever work you are doing, you are getting the results for it. Your influence in front of your authorities, your influence in front of your boss, superiors will be good for now. Jupiter will aspect your 4th house, that will be good for your domestic happiness, that also be good for your peace of mind, the place where you live in. So suppose if you are thinking to take any decision regarding your home or the place where you live in, or suppose if you are thinking to have some luxurious and convenience items at your home, or any kind of planning, you can do it now. It will be aspecting your 2nd house, it will be aspecting your 6th house. Your Artha Trikon will be activated. Your bonding with your family, your wealth related decisions, your speech will be much more better. What you say, people will listen to you. Your advice will be taken. Your family members will respect for what you know. Your bonding with your family will be very good. Your eating habits, your clothing habits, the things which you value will expand and will be for good. So overall I will say that this is a very good transit for your wealth and finance. Any kind of investment decisions can be taken now because of this aspect of Jupiter. Jupiter will have this, make you do the work in a proper way. The aspect of Jupiter in this 6th house will also make sure that you do the work in a proper manner. You use your wisdom, you use your intelligence for the higher purpose. Do the hard work for the perfection, for the orderly management of your life. for the daily schedule and routine, and also it will make sure that it will curb down your opponents, give you success overall, because this Jupiter will impact the Mars. The Mars is the energy, and energy is getting the intelligence of Mercury and wisdom from Jupiter. So you can understand how powerful it is. And on 17th of September, when Sun enters the party, Sun enters the 6th house. Now see, the transit of Sun through the 6th house is also very good. I am not talking about the lordship. Maybe the Sun is the 5th lord for your ascendant. Overall, I am talking that the transit of Sun through the 6th house is normally very good. And since it is getting the aspect of Jupiter, so now this Sun is getting much more dignified, wise. It is ready to take the actions. So it will also be good for your suppose if you are suffering from any kind of disease or illness, this is the time when you may come out of that disease. You may see that your health is improving. This is a very good time to take care of your health, get the benefit, lots and lots of benefit through this transit. Okay, so use the transit of this Jupiter for the best of your life. For the Taurus people, Jupiter will be transiting in your 9th house. Jupiter is the significator of 9th house. It is the significator of dharma. So even if it is getting debilitated, so with time you will feel that this combination of Saturn and Jupiter will not only give you a proper wisdom but also a proper discipline to follow the religious rituals and customs. Slowly and gradually you will see that your relationship with your father, with your guru, with your elders, whom you respect a lot, you will not only respect them, you will also listen to them, what they are saying or what they are conveying to you. You will try to follow them for the best of your life. This Jupiter will be aspecting your 3rd house. So suppose if you are a writer, if you are a publisher, if you are an orator, or suppose even if you are a teacher, people will listen to you, because 3rd house is the house of communication. How you communicate, people will listen to you, that this person is very wise. Even if I listen to this person for 5 minutes, it won't be a waste of time. In fact, I could have learned a lot more things from this person. This will be the impact of Jupiter. You see, the aspect of Jupiter is just like the nectar of divine. Now, since Jupiter is transiting through the 9th house, even though it is getting debilitated, but still I will say you that it is the significator of dharma, luck, fortune. It will uplift your luck and fortune. It will take some time, but definitely it is going to do that. You will see that it is becoming very easy for you to meet with new people of religious communities. You can visit some religious groups. You can have some religious discourses to some spiritual places. If you wanted to learn some higher knowledge or higher learnings, this is a very good time. You can have learnings of law, spirituality, okay, or any kind of higher studies. Only one thing you have to be very careful, since it is the 9th house. Do not take any shortcut means to the ultimate success. If it is taking time, let it take the time. Follow the dharma, follow the right path. Do the actions which is completely justified and lawful, because 9th house is also the house of law. You see, Jupiter is Guru, so if we do the wrong things, Guru punishes us. Because Guru know that if I don't teach this thing to this native, how will he or she learn? Okay, so Guru will give you that opportunity, Jupiter, and Saturn will ask you for your hard work and commitment, for your discipline. So just follow the lawful ideas, follow the justified path, right path, dharma, and you see that how the results become very easy for you to get manifested in your life. Jupiter will aspect your lagna. People will know you that you are very wise. Your personality will be improved in front of the whole world, I will say. Jupiter will aspect your 5th house of progeny. Your relationship with your children will be much more better. If you want to learn certain things, if you want to have work on your intelligence, on your intellect, even if you are working on your creativity, your creative talents, this is a very good time, I will say. But one thing, the results will come slowly. Your hard work will matter. Trust me, the hard work, the commitment and the wisdom of Jupiter, when they mixes together, the results will be delivered. Maybe it will take some time, but it is definitely going to deliver in your life. Just do it and get the results, the sweet fruits for the best of your life. Okay. For the Gemini people, Jupiter will be transiting through your 8th house. Both Jupiter and Saturn together. It will be transiting through your 8th house. Now, when Jupiter transits normally through the 8th house, it aspects the 2nd house, 4th house and 12th house. So the foremost thing which here it happens, that it will make a good bonding with your in-laws. It will make sure that any kind of matter related to marriage, related to your business partners, related to any kind of contracts which you have with some other people, it will give the results from all those things, good results for all those things. It will improve the longevity of your marriage. Okay. Since it is aspecting your 2nd house, again it will make sure that your savings, your investments, your relationship with your family, your wealth, your speech is improved. Your food eating habits will be improved. It will aspect your 4th house of your home where you live in, your domestic peace, your peace of mind. So anything related to your homely matters will come to, you will find the solution to those things. Like suppose if you are thinking that there was some problems or disputes or conflicts which were happening at your homely environment, so now this aspect of Jupiter, the 9th aspect of Jupiter, you will find that it is going to give you very good results. And regarding 8th house, another thing, if you are thinking to learn something regarding to occult, spirituality, or even suppose if you are using your wisdom regarding any kind of research or anything which requires utmost focus, this combination of Saturn and Jupiter will give you those better results. And 5th from 8th house is the 12th house where Jupiter will fall the 5th aspect. So what you gain from the 8th house, that you can use in the 12th house, in this 12th house of spirituality, because 12th house is 5th from the 8th house. So it will actually invoke your moksha trikon. If you can use it, you can find the deeper truths of your life. It can actually make you know that what is lying beyond the realm. Okay, that is the wisdom of Jupiter. And when these two giants, the Saturn and Jupiter, when they transit through a house, it activates the house, because they will transit through that house for a long amount of time. So it will get the time and it will also give some good results out of it. Okay. For the Cancer people, Jupiter will be transiting through your 7th house, and this transit for the Cancer people is going to be very prominent one, I will say. For the last few months, when Jupiter was transiting in your 8th house, Saturn was retrograde in the 7th house. There was some kind of problems, or there was some kind of disputes, or there was some kind of challenges in relation to your married life, in relation to your business partnerships, because now Saturn was asking for more commitment, more hard work, more patience. more responsibility towards your spouse and marriage. It is very easy to hear, it is very easy to say, but very difficult to do sometimes. Because Saturn was asking for lots and lots of responsibility towards your married life. Day in, day after, you would have faced some challenges coming in front of your life. Now this will vary from your horoscope to horoscope. Okay. So when Jupiter retrogrades back into the sign of Capricorn in your 7th house for the Cancer people, suddenly you will find that optimism, that light, that wisdom. Suddenly you will find that solution to that problem. Most importantly, it will aspect the Lagna, your personality, your viewpoint towards the other people, towards the married life, towards the spouse. Your personality will be improved. Not only that, the other people, when they look at you or when they talk with you or when they hear about you, know about you, they will have a respect towards you. That's the most important thing. But now, another thing which is very important, your married life, the disputes or the conflicts or the responsibilities, now you will feel that you are going to get the results of all the things which you had done. Like suppose if you have become very responsible and followed all your duties towards your married life, towards your spouse, so now this combination of Saturn and Jupiter is going to pay you some good and sweet results. It will all depend upon our karma. If we had done some good things in the past few months, this is the time it will give us some good solutions to the problems, and again it will solve the problems for the many days to come. It will give some good results. The condition is that we need to be committed, we need to be disciplined. Okay, now here 7th house is concerned. Jupiter will aspect your 3rd house of your efforts, your hobbies, your communication, your social environment, your immediate environment. People will like to communicate with you, people will have a very good time to spend with you, you will find your social environment is expanding. So now you will love to do your whatever things you like, your hobbies, your creative talents. You will use your wisdom in your efforts. And most importantly, in your 3rd house for the Cancer people, now Mars, Mercury is also transiting. On 17th, Sun will also enter the sign of Virgo in your 3rd house. So now whatever work you do, it will go towards the completion, it will go towards the success. This Jupiter will also put the aspect on the 11th house. So when it aspects the 11th house, it will give you gains. It will expand the vicinity, your network circle. Now suppose if you are a teacher, you are an orator, you are a counselor, you are a coach, you are a guru. Any profession or any work which requires intelligence and wisdom, you are connected with it. Any Jupiterian work, you can have gain through that. You can be a lecturer, you can be a professor. Okay. So I will say that this transit is going to be very good for you overall. For the Leo people, Jupiter will be transiting in your 6th house. At present, when Jupiter joins the sign in Capricorn, it joins the planet Saturn. Before that, when Saturn was transiting through the sign of Capricorn in your 6th house, it was asking for more service oriented your approach towards the life, towards your superiors, towards also for your subordinates. Like suppose there are people working in and around you, there are people who are working below you, your subordinates, or suppose there are people who are superiors to you. Your service towards those people will bring positive change in your life. But now when Jupiter enters the sign of Capricorn, now this Jupiter will also make sure that you gain lots and lots of wisdom, make sure that you do the hard work in a proper manner, in a proper area of your life. This Jupiter will also aspect your 10th house. So now suppose whatever hard work you are doing, suppose you are associated in any service sector, your hard work will prove to be better one when it aspects the 10th house in your work, in your career, in your profession. Your wisdom and your hard work will be recognized by your superiors. This will also prove to be take it in some other way, that suppose if you want to take some decision regarding your service, or suppose if you are thinking to take some decision regarding your work, your profession, this can also be a very good time for all those things. But since Saturn is a planet of order, discipline, doing the same thing in a perfect and disciplined way again and again, so I will say you, it will also give you some wisdom to make sure that whatever work you are doing, or where you are working, or whatever job you are doing, you will find solutions to any kind of conflicts or disputes which you had before. So it may happen that your problems will slowly it will clear off. It may happen. It will also give you wisdom to get success over your opponents, most specifically. And this Jupiter will also aspect your 2nd house of your wealth, of your family. It will be good for your any kind of investment decisions, your bonding with your family members, your speech, your investments and your savings. Only I will say you that since Jupiter is the Jiva Karaka and it is transiting through the 6th house along with Saturn in the house of Saturn, and since Saturn asks for discipline, although this transit will be good for your health, but you need to be very disciplined towards your health also. Because if you are not following the proper rules and regulations which we should follow regarding our health, then this Jupiter can create some kind of problems. Although this Jupiter will give you insights and wisdom regarding what to do regarding the proper health management, proper schedule and routines to be followed in the daily life, but if we don't do so, then this Jupiter can also get the problem that it will make some kind of issues regarding our health. Okay, so it is up to us that whether we are destroying our immunity or we are building our immunity. If you follow the proper rules and regulations, it will improve your health, but if you don't do, then that can create some kind of problem. Okay, that is for the Leo people. Otherwise, the aspects of Jupiter or where it is sitting, the transiting in the sign of Capricorn, will give you much more better results. Okay. For the Virgo people, Jupiter will be transiting in your 5th house. This transit is also a very good one, I will say. Jupiter is the significator of 5th house. Jupiter is the significator of Dharma. 5th house is our intelligence. 5th house is our house of learning, our progeny, our children, our creative talents, our creative self-expression. So now this is a very good time to express yourself freely. And another thing is that since Jupiter is with Saturn, you will find that you can express freely, but this time ego will not touch you. Your wisdom will be recognized by the world. People will know you for what you are actually. Okay, so this is a very good time to learn new things. if you are thinking to learn new mantra, new scriptures, or some ancient knowledge, some Vedic knowledge, this is a very good time. Or even if suppose you are a student, you are a teacher, or you are anyone associated with the education and studies, this transit is going to be very good one for you. It will directly impact your lagna, your personality will improve, it will make you more learned, it will impact your 11th house of gains, you can have gains through your creative talents, it will also impact your 9th house of dharma, it will be a rise of fortune for you during this transit of Jupiter through your 5th house. Your association, your relationship with your progeny, with your children will be much more better during this time. Your commitment and hard work towards your studies will be very good. Or whatever hobbies or creative talents you have. Like suppose you wanted to do something regarding your creative talent or hobby in a more proper disciplined approach, you wanted to start it, this is a very good time to start it. Like suppose if you have thought that when the good time will come, I will do it, so don't wait for another few days, this is the good time, start it. You will find the better results with time to come. Okay, so that's it for the Virgo people. For the Libra people, Jupiter will be transiting in your 4th house. So this will actually improve your happiness at your homely environment. This will actually increase your happiness index. So wheresoever you are, wherever you stay, you will feel happy. You will feel that light and optimism in your life. Like before, when Saturn was transiting through your 4th house, it was making you a bit hardworking, committed towards your 4th house things regarding your home, also regarding your career, because it was aspecting the 10th house. But now, when Jupiter is transiting through the sign of Capricorn along with Saturn, so now it is also giving you that blessing regarding your home, regarding your career. And another thing is that suppose if you are thinking for any kind of decisions regarding your home, your property, your luxuries, your conveniences, or any kind of change in your house or where you are living, this is a very good time to put those thoughts into action. The transit of Jupiter and Saturn through your 4th house will directly impact your 10th house of your career, profession and karma. So it will improve the possibilities, new possibilities will come in front of you. New doors will open with respect to your career and job. Like suppose it will improve the relationship with your boss. It will also make sure that whatever work you do, that work will be getting recognized, because people will know you for your name, fame and reputation will be for your wisdom, for your hard work, for your commitment. Okay, so that is the combination of Jupiter and Saturn in your 4th house. For the Libra people, Jupiter will aspect your 8th house of your occult, research, focus, your in-laws, your married life. Jupiter will also impact your 12th house of spirituality, pleasures, comforts. It will expand those things beautifully. Now suppose if you wanted to put your focus, concentration in some research work, this will be a very good time to have it, isn't it? Or suppose if you wanted to spend some time in solitude, in some isolation, in some spiritual way of living, this Jupiter will help you gain it due to its 9th aspect on the sign of Virgo in the 12th house for the Libra people. So overall I will say you that this transit of Jupiter for the Libra people in the sign of Capricorn through your 4th house along with Saturn will be a good one. So use this transit for the beneficence of all these houses where the Jupiter is transiting and aspecting. The significance of those houses will get expanded and also give you good results in the coming days to come. Okay, so use it in a best manner. For the Scorpio people, Jupiter will be transiting in your third house along with Saturn in the sign of Capricorn. Normally, the transit of Saturn through the third house is considered to be good. It gives you more discipline, commitment, and hard work towards your hobbies, towards your efforts, towards your actions. But when Jupiter joins the Saturn in the sign of Capricorn, so now what happens? It will also give you the necessary wisdom to put your efforts in a correct manner. It will also give you the proper intelligence that how you are using your hobbies, how you are doing your hobbies. Your social connections will expand during this time. Your immediate environment, your friends, your relatives, your siblings, or your neighborhood with whom you interact in daily life, the interactions will be much more fruitful during this time. During this transit of Jupiter through your third house, you will see that now you are feeling very easy to follow your hobbies, your creative talents. Your communication with the people will improve. People will be very happy to listen to you regarding how you communicate. Your fortune, your luck, your prosperity will tend to rise during this transit because Jupiter will aspect the 9th house by its 7th aspect. Your communication, your relationship with your father, with your guru, with your elders will be much more better during this time. Your inclination towards your religion, towards your customs and rituals will be very good because it will directly aspect the 9th house. Now suppose if you want to learn some higher spiritual ideas, law, philosophy, or some knowledge of higher level, this transit of Jupiter and its aspect on the 9th house will give you that chance to have it in a more beautiful manner. Jupiter will aspect your 7th house, so it will take care of all the things related to your marriage. It will make sure that you have a proper mindset. You take the proper responsibility of your marriage, of your spouse, and take the proper decisions regarding your marital matters, regarding your business partnerships. It will bring a happy environment in your married life, in your marital happiness. It will expand it. Jupiter will also aspect your 11th house of your gains, of your network circles. It will expand the number of ways by which you can have the gains in your life. You will feel that suppose if you are an orator, or suppose if you are a public speaker, you are an author, you are a publisher, or suppose if you are a student or teacher also. Because since Jupiter is the significator of 5th house and Jupiter is aspecting the 11th house, Jupiter is also the significator of wisdom and education and higher spiritual knowledge. So suppose even if you are a student, this transit of Jupiter will also be fruitful for you. Or suppose if you want to learn something, know something, be perfect regarding your work or efforts or actions, this transit of Jupiter is going to give you lots and lots of gains through those things. Your network circle will connect with you more nicely or more happily, I will say. It is a very good time to work on projects together in a team spirit, in a proper manner, and that can lead to lots and lots of gains in your life. It will expand your network circle, your social circle. So for the Scorpio people, Jupiter is going to bring these results along with commitment of Saturn. So it is now completely up to you, completely that how you are going to use the energy, the optimism of Jupiter and the commitment of Saturn. Although Jupiter is getting debilitated, so what? It is retrograde in its motion, and when it gets the debilitation, the cancellation of debilitation from Saturn, you will find that you are going to get lots and lots of ideas, solutions, and you will find that some divine power is helping you out in your efforts, in your actions, in your life. For this Sagittarius people, Jupiter is your Lagna Lord, and Jupiter is entering in your second house of wealth, family, investments, your all the things which you value, the food, clothing, your possessions, savings. So when Saturn was transiting in your second house, it was making you very committed, very disciplined towards your wealth. So it was saying that now you need to be very careful regarding your expenditure. You need to be very careful, very disciplined regarding what you do with your wealth or how you interact with your family members. It was bringing a very strict, disciplined life with respect to your second house. But now when Jupiter enters the sign of Capricorn in your second house, so now this Jupiter will help you out. Take proper decisions regarding your life, regarding your investments, regarding your wealth, regarding your overall prosperity towards your, or I will say that, family happiness. You can have valuable items for your home or for your family. You can have new investment ideas. This Jupiter will be very beneficial towards your fixed assets also. It will also expand your joint assets because it will be aspecting your 8th house. So this Jupiter will act as a bridge. One side of the bridge is the materialistic side, that is the second house. One side of the bridge is the 8th house, which is the Moksha Trikon, one of the house of the Moksha Trikon, the house of spirituality and occult. So this Jupiter will give you gains, give you knowledge and give you happiness from both the houses. It will give you chance to learn something regarding your spiritual ideas, occult, to have some focus or on some research materials. Okay. And at the same time, it will also give you some good time with your family members. And overall, your financial structure and your wealth will also improve. This Jupiter will aspect your 10th house and 6th house. So it will make sure that you are having gains with related to your job, career and profession. It will improve your personality in front of your work environment. People will know at your work environment for your wisdom. You will use your wisdom and intelligence to curb down your opponents and get overall success. Whatever hard work you do, if you do it in a proper channelized, wise manner, you get success very easily. So this Jupiter's aspect on the 6th house will give you that wisdom. That wisdom will also help you to have gains from even from your enemies also. Okay, so I will say you that this transit of Jupiter is a very good one. Or suppose if you are thinking to work on some projects at your workplace or take some decision regarding your career or profession, this is a very good time. It will also give you some new insights, some new wise ideas regarding your career. So I will say you that for the Sagittarius people, if you use that this transit in this proper particular manner, then this will bring a very good results in your life with respect to your 2nd house, 8th house, 6th house and 10th house, while it is transiting through the 2nd house of Capricorn. Okay. For the Capricorn people, wow, this transit is going to be very important one for the Capricorn people with respect to this whole year is concerned. Jupiter is retrograding back into your 1st house. So when Jupiter was transiting through your 2nd house, that time Saturn was transiting through your 1st house, and it was creating lots and lots of responsibilities in your life. It was making you very busy, it was making you very hardworking. At times you may have faced lots of tension, I will say, or stress due to the responsibilities which was coming in front of you, due to the challenges which were coming in front of you because of the transit of Saturn through your 1st house, and it was retrograde, so it was getting more powerful. But now when Jupiter is retrograding back into the sign of Capricorn, this Jupiter will bring lots and lots of optimism, light in your life. First of all, this Jupiter is going to get directional strength in the 1st house. So now it will give you the wisdom to take the proper decisions of your life, to be focused, the correct things which you need to do in a proper priorities. Your personality will improve. People will know you for your wisdom. People will know you for your knowledge or intelligence. Now you will feel that whatever challenges were coming in front of you, now you will have a clear-cut idea, a clear-cut solutions to all those challenges. Your bonding or relationship with the other people, with your spouse or with the other people, 7th house, with your business partners, will be much more better during this time, during this transit of Jupiter into the sign of Capricorn in your 1st house. Jupiter here will invoke the Dharma Trikon, your 1st house, 5th house and 9th house. You will feel that your luck, fortune is supporting you, and that will actually bring prosperity in your life. Your bonding or your relationship with your father, with your guru, with your elders will improve. You can have religious discourses also. You can have bondings with some religious communities also. You will now follow up the religious rituals and customs with proper discipline and proper wisdom, and you will feel happy about it. Since it is aspecting your 5th house of progeny, creativity, intellect, it will expand those things. Your relationship with your children, with your progeny will be much more better. This is a very good time to learn something, to study something, to know something, some new ideas, some new knowledge, to brush up your intelligence, to brush up your wisdom, to learn new subjects. This Jupiter will give you the time, knowledge, wisdom to improve your intellect, to improve your creative talents, whatever creativity you have. Now you will be able to express yourself in a more easier manner, and you will feel that your luck, fortune is supporting you. Although this will take some time, because since it is getting debilitated, it is retrograde. With time, with commitment, with hard work and discipline, and with the intelligence and wisdom of Jupiter, you will find that the things are going in a better way for the good days to come. Your relationship with your husband, your wife, your spouse, or any matter related to marriage will have a proper channelized solution. All the disputes, all the conflicts will be solved out. All the problems will be cleared off now. Okay. So I will say that this transit of Jupiter through your Lagna, through your first house, is going to be a very good one. Okay. For the Aquarius people, Jupiter is going to transit in your 12th house. Well, this transit, I will say that it has got multiple implications to it. At one side, Jupiter is getting retrograde, it is going to get debilitated along with Saturn in the house of 12th house, which is also the house of loss. Jupiter is the significator of 2nd house, 5th house, 9th house, 11th house. Such an important planet. Jupiter is the significator of luck, fortune, dharma, and it is transiting through the 12th house of loss. When you look into the transit in this way, you will feel that this transit can bring some kind of problems in our life. Okay, but if you feel that 12th house is the house of spirituality, Jupiter is a very spiritual planet. Jupiter can actually bestow you the knowledge of spiritual living, can give you the religious and spiritual and occult knowledge. Jupiter can help you get the solitude. Jupiter can help you get the happiness when you have the solitude and gain certain knowledge. Follow some spiritual way of living. So suppose it may happen that at some faraway place or when you are alone, this Jupiter will give you intelligence along with the commitment and discipline of Saturn to follow the spiritual way of living. Okay. It can also happen that you may suddenly gain interest in occult, in spiritual learnings. Suddenly, it may happen because it will impact the 4th house. It will also impact the 8th house of spirituality and occult knowledge. This influence of Jupiter and Saturn together in your 12th house and the aspect of Jupiter on the 8th house, it can also happen that suppose if you want to learn something with complete focus and concentration, if you want to know the deeper truths of those subjects in a research oriented manner, this Jupiter will give you the wisdom to gain all those knowledge. Okay, to gain the secrets of our life. The occult science, the ancient science. So that practice of spirituality and occult science can give you happiness. This Jupiter will also aspect your 4th house. So that means this will actually improve your domestic happiness also. Any decision making related to your home, your homely environment, your homely matters can be taken now. So I will say that overall this transit, although Jupiter is transiting through the 12th house, it has got some dual implication to it. But if you follow the spiritual way of living, if you want to learn some deeper truths of your life, if you follow yoga, meditation, a sattvic life, follow the spirituality in solitude, and be very disciplined regarding your homely matters, then this transit will bring some kind of good results for you. Okay. Now since it is transiting through your 12th house, so it can have dual types of results. But if you follow the spirituality, definitely this span of 2 months is going to bring spiritual happiness and bliss in your life. For the Pisces people, Jupiter will be transiting in the sign of Capricorn in the 11th house, the house of gains. Normally the transit of Jupiter through the 11th house is very fruitful. Jupiter gives lots and lots of gains. It expands the area through which you can have the gains. And Jupiter is the Lagna Lord itself. So now Jupiter will expand your network circle. Jupiter will expand your friend circle. You can have bonds with, you can have good bonds or good bindings with large institutions, large organizations. You can have relationships or you can have good friendships with people who are associated with large organization. You can have gains through that. Okay, not only that, Jupiter is also your 10th lord. Okay, now 10th lord coming into the 11th house along with Saturn. So now you will work in a more hardworking and more disciplined manner in order to have the gains in your life. It will expand the area through which the gains may come. Now suppose if you are associated with any job, career, profession related to Jupiter, you can be a you can be a teacher, you can be a counselor, you can be a coach, you can be an orator, you can be a consultant, or suppose even if you are an author, then this transit of Jupiter is going to bring lots and lots of gains in your life, or any kind of thing which is related to Jupiter you are following. Jupiter will aspect the 5th house of progeny, children, creative talents. So it will expand the positivity and optimism towards your self-expression regarding how you express yourself through your creative talents. Any type of creative talent you have, Jupiter will help you out to have lots and lots of gains. Your intelligence, your education, your relationship with your progeny, children will improve. Very good time to learn new things. Your communication, your bonding with your social environment, with the immediate environment will improve because it will aspect the 3rd house. You will have a proper wisdom to use your efforts, your actions, your energy. Means you can use your energy here and there, but now this Jupiter will channelize your energy in a proper manner, that do this up to this much. Okay, because of its aspect in the 3rd house. So that will give you lots and lots of good result. Again, this Jupiter will also aspect the 7th house. So what can be more beautiful than that, that your any matter related to your marriage, your spouse, wife, husband, business partners, trade, business, or any kind of legal bindings, you will have a proper good results regarding those things. Your bonding with your spouse or any issues related to your marriage will be improved. Disputes and conflicts will be solved because in the 7th house you see Mars and Mercury is transiting. Sun will also join the party on 17th of September. But when the aspect of Jupiter will fall into the sign of Virgo, so what will happen? This Jupiter will try to bring some kind of wisdom into the native, that how to actually feel during this transit, because your 7th house is going to be very crowded. You may feel that your ego is getting challenged during this transit of Sun, Mars and Mercury in your 7th house, but the wisdom of Jupiter will be a nectar of divine. It will help you out clearing off any kind of disputes and conflicts in your life. Okay, so overall I will say that this transit will be a good one. And only one thing I will say, that since your 7th house is getting very overcrowded during this transit of Mars, Mercury and Sun, although the aspect of Jupiter will help you a lot, one thing which you can do is that this is the time to follow the approach of compromise. This is not the time to follow the path of ego. Okay, do not hesitate to cooperate your spouse, do not hesitate to take the cooperation from your spouse. Okay, because you both are complementary to each other, and this wisdom will be enhanced by Jupiter also. So with time you will feel that how beautifully the life changes in front of you. Only the thing is that you need to be understanding towards your spouse. Similarly, he or she also needs to be understanding towards you. If any problem comes, solve it, sit together, talk with each other. Okay, so that's it for the all the 12 signs. Okay, so that's it from my side, and hope you have liked this video. Press the like button and share to your near and dear ones. Your comments are always welcome to me. Don't forget to write it down in the comment box, your valuable queries and opinions. And as usual, if you are new to this channel, tap onto the subscribe button, click onto the notification bell icon, so that every time I make a new video, you get notified instantly. And anytime if you need any consultation from me, check the links in the description section. So on this note, I will be signing off for today. Hope this transit be very fruitful for all of you. Thanking you. Bye bye.